At the time I visited, Lexington, Virginia and W&L weren't really on my radar.
They offered a free application waiver, so I thought, why not? It's a good school.
It's kind of an expensive and time-consuming proposition to get out here, but the stipend really helped with the price.
When I got here, it was completely a game changer. So I visited just because I could, and I stayed because I loved it.
You really don't understand the Southern hospitality or even just the genuineness of people until you come to a town like Lexington.
All of those soft factors that you can't really research, that's what made my decision for me. And it made a really, really easy decision out of it.
We went to the local bar, and it was kind of cool just seeing the law students not really like worrying about us so much, just kind of doing their own thing, and I kind of saw like what it would be like here. They were all friends, they're all super close. I talked to a lot of students that are from larger cities and kind of talked about their transition, because that was one of the big things I was worried about was, could I transition from LA to such a small town? I'm really glad that I came to Lexington, and something that you can't really get on paper is what W&L is really about. And that takes coming to the mid-student weekend, that takes talking to students, and I'm glad I did it because it changed my life, because I ended up here because of it.
When I showed up at Admitted Students Weekend, one of the first things I remember was walking into Evan's Dining Hall and seeing the assistant director of admissions, and she greeted me by name. She was like, "Hey, Ember," and complimented my hair. And I don't remember anything, but nearly 3 years later, that moment stuck with me. The things that I really loved about this place weren't in guidebooks or on web forums. And the friendly atmosphere that I saw among the students when I visited for Admitted Students Weekend was different here than it was at other schools, and that translated into, once I became a student, being able to get notes from my fellow students if I was out sick. I didn't even have to ask for them. I'd be out sick and they'd show up in my email inbox. And that was the impression I gathered when I visited over Admitted Students Weekend. I didn't even know I was looking for the things that W&L offers until I saw them and realized that these were intangibles and these were things that I couldn't fit in a spreadsheet. And they were the things that ultimately made my decision for me.
There's something missing from several of these stories. These are schools that I can't figure out just by the hard information that you can put into a spreadsheet. And those were the schools that I wanted to visit. I have no sense of direction, so I'm standing there with my map, and no less than 4 people stopped to help me figure out where I was going with my map. And some nice law student who I still don't, never found out her name. She walked with me all the way to where I was going on the undergraduate side, chatting with me the whole way. It was completely the opposite direction of where she was going, but she wanted to make sure that I found it. And I found that to be the overwhelming spirit of the school. And that's not something that you can read about. What you could learn in an Admitted Student Weekend is, do I fit here? Is this what I want? Is this the type of place that I want to spend 3 years learning and changing and growing and becoming the type of lawyer that I want to be and the type of person that I want to be? And I don't know that you can decide that without sort of testing the waters in each of those places, because that's, at least for me, the primary reason that I chose Washington and Lee, is because I felt like I fit.